Good. The January 23rd, 2023 meeting of the Environment and Public Works Committee will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Blankley. Here. Mr. Blankley is present. Mr. Florio.
Here.
Mr. Florio is present. Mr. Hebert.
Here.
Mr. Hebert is present. Ms. Hugh Smith.
Here.
Ms. Hugh Smith is present. Mr. Johns.
Here.
Mr. Johns is present. Mr. Mafucci.
Here.
Mr. Mafucci is present. Chairman McCabe.
Present.
Chairman McCabe is present.
Is there anyone signed up for the public forum?
There is not.
Is there anyone present who is not signed up to speak who would like to address the committee at this time? Seeing none, we will conclude public forum. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. You have the December 20th, 2022 minutes of the Environment and Public Works Committee before you. They will stand approved unless the clerk is notified of any changes by the end of the day. The next item on the agenda is new business.
Referral 23-0008, classification of action and determination of significance pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act for the acquisition of real property for the Hinchy Road project in the town of Gates.
Second.
Moved by legislator Long, seconded by legislator John. Sorry, Mark. Legislator John, seconded by legislator DeFlorio. Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 23-0010, authorized contracts with McFarland Johnson, CHA Consulting, and Passero Associates Engineering, Architecture, and Surveying for design services for the airport terminal area revitalization, airport/campus innovations at the Frederick Douglass Greater Rochester International Airport.
Move it, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by legislator Florio, second by legislator Hebert. Are there any comments, questions, or concerns on this one? Legislator Hebert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through the administration, there's a $3.6 million local share funding here. Is that typical from typical airport funds?
Through the chair, those are local funds through the airport's renewal and replacement account, which we call the R&R account. And yes, this grant award from the state of New York did require some local funding as a part of the participation in the overall grant submission.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item carries. Next item.
Referral 23-0011, authorize Monroe County to submit funding applications to federal, state, and/or not-for-profit funding assistance programs.
Moved by legislator Hebert, second by legislator Johns. Is there any discussion? Legislator Hebert.
Chairman, kind of a general question. Referral refers to various projects in the calendar year, and then it says no net county support is going to be required in the current budget. Does that mean nothing that we're going to apply for will have local match? Or is there a possibility that you'll be back for a second bite at the apple later?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, no, that does not mean there wouldn't be a local match. If we are successful with a grant application, as this honorable body knows, we will come back to you for authorization. If a local match is required, obviously we would be requesting authorization for that local match.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, is there any upper limit on the percentage of local match? Typically, I've seen up to 20%.
The chairman, again, this just gives us authorization to submit the application. It's convenient in the sense that we're often under a time deadline. The grants require legislative approval to be able even to apply. So that's why we ask for that in the beginning of the year. As you know, we come before you annually to ask for this permission in advance. It does not set limits in terms of what the local match could be or the amount requested. Typically, they are for projects that are within the CIP and already authorized.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chairman of the administration, could I then request that when you have something where you are applying and there is a local match, you just notify the legislature as early as possible?
Through Mr. Chairman, yes, we can.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 23-0012, authorize a contract with Popley Architecture Engineering, DBA Popley Design Group for professional design services for the City Place Electrical and Mechanical Improvement Project.
Second.
Moved by legislator John, second by legislator Florio. Is there any discussion? Mr. Hebert.
Thank you, through Mr. Chairman, to the administration. Is this funding part of the funds already allocated to this project by previous action of the legislature? Or does this represent additional funds?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, the former, these are authorized funds in 2022 and 2023.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 23-0013, authorize a contract with TY Lin International Engineering and Architecture for professional design services for the Building Condition Assessment Project.
Moved by legislator Flores, second by legislator Hebert. Is there any discussion? Legislator Hebert.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration. The referral indicates that the county requires assistance in preparing facility improvement plans to address these needs. What do we lack as skills? What are they providing?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, as you know, when we bring on consulting firms, it's typically on a project-by-project basis, or we're in a planning initiative, but they really serve as an extension of our staff. We lease and own over 6 million square feet. We've done a number of condition assessments by other consultants or architects for a number of buildings. We want to consolidate those, bring those up to speed, and make our planning more effective in terms of the projects that we prioritize for our buildings. We've got a number of new facilities that we'll be taking on and have taken on, namely City Place, with the new CDC, the zoo, others. And we want to be able to have a consolidated, integrated plan so that we can assess condition as well as risk of failure and be in the best position possible to effectively and efficiently plan for those projects.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to the administration, when do we expect this work to be completed?
We expect to commence the work, Mr. Chairman, second quarter of this year. Programmatic assessment completion by the end of this year, and from there we'll strategize in early first quarter of 2024.
Thank you. And through you, Mr. Chairman, the administration, will that mean it's done in time to be taken into consideration for the CIP that is developed in early 2024? Or will it have to wait till CIP for 2025?
Through Mr. Chairman, we may incorporate certain projects we identify into a CIP. However, we have general building improvement capital funds that are approved on a regular basis. That a plan like this will help us be able to prioritize those projects on an annual basis with that generalized funding. We're not necessarily looking to increase funding either, but we want to be able to prioritize the funding that we have in place and that's planned in the CIP.
Understood. Thanks for your clear answers as always, Mr. Garland. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Legislator Florio.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair to the administration. So just for my clarity, will the output of this design study essentially create, I guess, for lack of a better term, a master plan for improvement projects in all county facilities?
Through Mr. Chairman, similar to a master plan, but really a condition assessment. We just want to know the condition of a comprehensive evaluation of the condition and risk of failure in any of our critical infrastructure. We have a very good handle on it presently through different assessments that have been done, but we want to bring it up to date. We want to consolidate other evaluations that have been done so that we have a consistent planning tool to be able to prioritize projects.
So it won't put any priorities to the projects through the administration, but more just a document of assessment.
Through Mr. Chairman, we will prioritize the projects. That would be an expectation based on condition and risk for those critical systems. So yes, we will utilize the assessment to prioritize projects.
Thank you. And through the chair, will we receive a copy of this document once it's been submitted?
Through Mr. Chairman, yes, we can provide that.
Thank you. And then one last question. Will the county office building itself be assessed? I've recently expressed some concerns about some what I feel are issues within this building. And so I would hope that those will be addressed as well.
Through Mr. Chairman, yes, we will look at the building. We did do an building envelope assessment in 2017. We'll update that. We'll identify any other critical infrastructure, primarily mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I just have one to the administration. When was the last time we conducted a building condition survey like this? Is it on a pattern, a schedule?
Through to you, Mr. Chairman, this is the first time we've done a condition assessment of county buildings countywide. We've done a number of them individually over the years. We want to consolidate that work and update that work into one assessment document.
Which I truly appreciate. I think that's a great planning from capital project standpoint. And then is there a plan then to do this similar type survey every 5 years, every 10 years?
To you, Mr. Chairman, good question. I think that will be one that we will determine once we complete the assessment. How frequently do we want to go through this analysis? What's most prudent? What's most efficient? Again, we want to balance, the economic considerations as well as being able to provide, reliable operations of county facilities. But a 5-year planning period would not be unrealistic.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all is in favor? Any opposed? Item carries. Next item.
Referral 23-0014, authorize a contract with Barrow Architecture for professional design services for the Highland Park Children's Pavilion project.
Moved by legislator Hebert, second by legislator Johns. Is there any discussion? Legislator Mafucci.
Expect the reconstruction of the children's pavilion to be complete.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, April of 2025.
Thank you. I can't wait to see it. It sounds like a very exciting project. Thank you very much.
Legislator Hebert.
The 3 million and change that was already allocated by this legislature, or is it part of that funding?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, that's within the total authorization that's been approved.
Give me just 1 second, please, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely.
Could you tell us, through you, Mr. Chairman, to the administration, could you tell us who else responded to the request for proposals?
Through Mr. Chairman, there are 3 other firms. Barrow, obviously the firm that's under consideration this evening. Hunt Engineers responded, as well as T.Y. Lin.
So through you, Mr. Chairman, there were 3 total responses.
Through Mr. Chairman, that is correct.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Legislator DeFlorio.
Thank you. Through you to the administration, just one last question. So my assumption is the design services, or maybe I'm incorrect, will the design services give you a better idea of cost for the project?
You, Mr. Chairman, yes, that is correct.
And so when I'm sorry, when do you expect the design service portion to be completed?
Through Mr. Chairman, by the end of August of this year.
Thank you. And then one last question, can we get a copy of that when it is completed as well, to kind of have a better understanding of cost for the project?
Through Mr. Chairman, yes, we can.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all is in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Are there any other matters to come before the committee this evening? Seeing none, there being no other matters, the January 23rd, 2023 meeting of the Environment and Public Works Committee stands adjourned. The next meeting of the Environment and Public Works Committee is scheduled for Monday, February 27th, 2023 at 5:15.